All right, so I hold a pound of strawberries right there. And you see the lemons. All right.
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
She's like, that looks different. Investigating.
Eat the bread. Is it good? Try it. Yum.
I think she's the foodie.
What? Really?
Welcome to Food is Medicine, where medicine meets the menu. The podcast where the art of culinary excellence meets the science of modern medicine. Join the world's first and finest chef-neurologist dynamic duo, Dr Victor Wang and Chef Denis Arvizu, as they dive into the powerful link between our dietary choices and our well-being. Uncover the impactful ways in which simple changes in diet can ward off chronic illnesses, sharpen mental acuity, and contribute to a longer, healthier life. Prepare to be hungry for more than just food. Tune in to their insightful and occasionally spicy discussions today, and find out how the food choices you make can spice up your health for a tastier tomorrow.
Welcome back to Food is Medicine, where medicine meets the menu. I'm Chef Denis Arvizu, and we have Dr. Victor Wang in the kitchen today. So today we're going to give a quick tour on how to use simple ingredients and make strawberry jam, fortified with some chia seeds that Dr. Wang is hopefully able to impress his kids.
I'm going to need some help from the chef.
You're going to need some help.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right. So this is the recipe that you posted, the strawberry jam with chia seeds. It looked pretty simple, like 4 ingredients, right? Sugar, chia seeds, strawberries, and lemon.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, and so I've already hold pound of strawberries here, lemon, and I got a scale because I think you had mentioned that trying to measure things out by weight is more accurate.
Yes, very much so. So with any recipe, sometimes depending on where you are, measuring by volume is a problem because we each have different little tweaks. If I say a pound of sliced strawberries, my slicing can be a lot thicker or thinner than yours. And so to try to get as much consistency as possible, it's always best to use weight.
Oh, a pound of strawberries, and then you had said 5% sugar. So I measured about a little over 20 grams of sugar already, 15 grams. And I have the lemon. What's the easiest way to squeeze it? Or is there some secret chef way of getting lemon juice?
You can squeeze it, or if you have like a lemon squeezer, that also works.
I do not, but this works.
Squeeze it and then strain it just in case the seeds come out.
That's 15 grams. All right.
Perfect.
And then how many grams of chia seeds? Let me grab.
So I have 50 grams. So if you're doing half, it's 25.
Let's tear this. It's already 0 grams. 25 grams of chia seeds from Amazon here.
There you go.
All right, 25 grams. I don't know how much chia seeds weigh.
So the great thing about chia seeds, using it, well, in this case, you use it a bit of as a thickener to avoid using pectin. But you could also use pectin as a natural thickener. It'll give you that jelly consistency. What I like about chia seeds is it gives you something very similar, but it fortifies your recipe with iron, protein. It's, as we know, chia seeds is a very good superfood. And so you're adding nutrients into something as simple as jam and utilizing it as well as a thickener to give you that jam consistency.
Okay. And then a pound of strawberries. You said chopped. What's the best way to chop strawberries here?
Well, you can either quarter them, so just cut them in 4s.
All right. Like this?
Yes. And then, the smaller you cut them, the faster it'll be. But, starting with quarters is great.
Okay. You may have to redo this sound. I don't know if the crying is coming through. Okay.
Yeah, so for the ingredients on this recipe that I put together, calls for about 3.5 pounds of strawberries, which in my case was about 5 of those baskets. And then what I like about leaving it with weight is that you can scale it down to your needs. So in this case, Dr. Wang scaled it down by half. Now, Essentially, again, going back to by weight, it helps to be able to do such things, or if you want to make it bigger, it's a lot easier to do that because weight is weight versus volume or just telling you to use a cup of a certain ingredient. And then when it talks about sugar, we said 5% of the prepped strawberries. So whatever your final weight is of your strawberries that you want to use, a good starting point is about 5% of the weight of that for sugar. Always the reason I start low is because you can always add once you cannot take out. And then the other thing to keep in mind when it is time to make these, right now we are going into strawberry season. So right now it's going to be the prime time to utilize strawberries, and that's going to be when they're at their sweetest, most flavorful. However, we can get strawberries for the most part year round, but they're not always have the best flavor. So that's also why we start low with sugar. And then if you want something a little bit sweeter, you can always, again, add, but be mindful of what you be able to put into your recipe.
All right. So what's the next step of the recipe?
So once your once your strawberries are cut, add the lemon juice, place them in a pot and add the lemon juice. And what you're going to do is let them sit for a little bit. I would say anywhere from maybe 15 minutes or so. So stir them so it starts to extract some of that juice from the actual strawberries themselves.
All right. Now we wait.
Yeah, then the next step would be to put it on the stove and then turn it on low and add, I would say maybe add like a quarter cup of water in there.
Okay.
And then you have a lid.
Yes. Mash it a little bit.
Yes, now mash it, and then you'll be, however consistency you want it. So you want it somewhat chunky, leave it chunky. If you don't, smash it as much as you'd like. And then make sure you give it a quick stir so nothing sticks at the bottom.
How's that look? Can you see it?
Yeah, it's looking good.
It's getting there.
Yeah, so one thing you probably want to do is just take a quick taste to see how sweet it is. And then what you can do now is start adding the chia seeds in it and just make sure you keep stirring it because otherwise the sediment will go to the bottom of the pan and it'll stick. And that's the one thing you don't. Is it sour?
A
Is it
bit? Yes.
okay. There's still no sugar in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So now go ahead and add your chia seeds, and that should help start to thicken. And make sure you're stirring as they're going in.
Another spoon.
We need a key, sweetie.
All right. That's all the chia seeds.
Okay. So now as they start to get incorporated, just make sure you keep stirring, especially at the bottom. You don't want anything to stick at the bottom of the pan. And probably take a good 5 minutes or so to start to get a little thicker. Just make sure it's still boiling too.
Put it down.
And then from here, as you boil it more and more, the consistency will get a lot thicker. This is also now where you can essentially season it with the sugar.
Some of the sugar.
So yeah, so here the thing is, as it's getting thicker, try to get where you want the thickness to be, and add the sugar in slowly so it doesn't get over sweet. So start with half of the sugar, and then we can see how it goes from there.
It's a worm.
It's a word. It's a lot of word. All right. Should I taste it before I add more sugar?
Yeah, I would say give it a minute or two, and then taste it to make sure all the sugars dissolve. How's the thickness consistency? Is it coming together?
No, I don't know if you can see this. I look about right.
It's coming along, yeah.
It will get thicker as time goes on.
It'll get thicker as you're boiling out the water, and that'll help concentrate the sugar, not only the sugar, but the flavor of the strawberry. That's why to me, it's important to get more of the flavor first, so you can make sure you extract as much flavor as you can from your fruit, and then add your sweetness level at the end. So essentially, when you see recipes that say season to taste or salt to taste, in this case, it's sugar to taste or sweetness to taste, because you can use honey, you can use agave, or you could use sugar.
Sugar is still pretty sour. It's still kind of getting bigger.
By any chance, did you try any of the strawberries? Were they sweet at all?
They were, yeah, regular strawberries, I would say. Average.
Okay. So yeah, if they weren't as sweet, if they were a little bit tart, we might have to increase the sugar after we get it to the point where we like the consistency, and if you utilize all the sugar, you weigh out.
Yeah, it's getting.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. One thing also to note is once you cool it down, the flavors do concentrate a little bit.
Okay.
So how it might taste today may not be as strong as how it'll taste the next day. Yep.
All right. I think we're there.
Are you?
Yeah.
What you can do is grab a little bit of that, put it on a regular plate, and
Okay.
see how thick it gets on the plate. So that'll give you an idea of when it cools down how thick the consistency is.
All right. So plate here.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Tilt the plate to the side a little bit. Yeah. It's almost there. I mean, if you want to go a little thicker, you can go a little bit, but it's looking pretty good.
Okay. Keep cooking maybe a couple more minutes.
Yeah, another few minutes, and then you should be a lot thicker than it is right now. How's the flavor?
Let me try.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Oh. It doesn't look bad.
I'm gonna go spoon and
Okay, I'll try it.
Hopefully it's not bad.
more sugar. Still sour.
That makes my teeth like it's not bad.
We're gonna add a little more sugar. Making you some strawberry jelly.
Yeah, it's good. Do like the first
A little.
the little like sour taste, and it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna give you some.
So we're gonna have some others. A jelly
If
sandwich.
you like it.
Yeah, and then at the end, what you could always do is if it's still too like tart for you at the end, you could always just sprinkle in a little bit more sugar.
More sugar.
I like it. I approve.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Daddy. No, Daddy just needs to finish making.
Yeah, making
strawberry
your jelly.
and then we can eat after.
So, how do I cool this down fast?
Spread some out on a plate and throw it in the freezer. Yeah, make a thin layer on a plate and then throw it in the freezer.
All right. Strawberry jam is cooling. And just cut it in half. There's some important.
There's Eggo waffles.
Yeah, Costco.
Costco Eggo waffles.
3 of them for him, 1 for her. See how this goes.
Hopefully they'll like it.
Okay, got these quarters.
It cooled down enough.
It's still kind of and let it cool down.
Yeah, you don't want them to burn. So just to recap what we've gone through is, clean, quarter your strawberries, juice your lemon, put it in a small pot, bring it up to a simmer, low and slow, and then smash your strawberries as you're simmering them, and make sure you stir the bottom of the pan so they don't stick. And you'll add your chia seeds and allow it to thicken to the consistency that you are looking for. Then add your sugar. Check the sweetness to taste. So if you do not want it to be too high in sugar, you have that control and making sure that you're able to enjoy.
Okay, I think it's cooled down enough here.
Awesome.
All right,
Moment of truth.
moment of truth. I turn this camera around.
You just have to move the gimbal.
I don't know how to turn it around to the other camera on the other side. Somebody just got hurt.
Foul. Wait. Is that tennis? No. Hi. Hello.
Let's try some strawberry candy. All right. What do you want to get up to? Okay. Hold on.
Blooper.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I grab the. You ready? Want some jam? All right.
That looks so yummy. Hey, that looks so yummy.
What do you think? Can't decide. Do you like it?
Is it yummy?
Yeah?
Is it good?
Yeah?
If not, it's your dad.
Is it yummy? How yummy?
Hey, he's finishing it.
All
Yeah.
right. I think you like it.
You know, Daddy made it. Daddy made that yam. I mean, that yam. That jam. Good?
All right, let's see if the other one likes it. Okay.
Now I'm moving the truth for you.
Hi.
You try it? Yes.
No, she's got to do it herself.
She's like, that looks different. Investigating.
Eat the bread. Is it good? Try it. Yum.
I think she's the foodie.
Yeah, she eats everything.
Like it? Is it yummy?
You like
This
it?
one's on,
What's
this,
the
this
original?
one's on the second one. Number 2.
He's licking off the yam.
Yeah. The jam.
There's. We made it. A nice job, Dr. Wang.
Is it good?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm.
You want more? You want more? More strawberry jam? Yeah.
I'm glad they like it.
Yeah, Wesley really likes it.
There you
It's
go.
great.
Yeah.
More snack. Lunch.
Well, there you go. Very simple. Very simple, and you know exactly what you put in your food.
Yeah.
And then as the season gets better,
Like
I
it?
would always say just taste your strawberries before you start, because the sweeter they get, you need less sugar.
Yeah.
That's true.
The sweetest time of the year is usually May and June. She's enjoying it.
I think so.
No kitchen fail today. That's awesome.
Thank you for joining us on this enlightening episode of Food as Medicine, where medicine meets the menu. We hope today's episode has inspired you to rethink the role of food in your health journey. Remember, the power to nourish your body and mind lies on your plate. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review and share Food as Medicine, where medicine meets the menu, on all major podcast platforms with others who are passionate about living well. Until next time, keep experimenting in the kitchen and discovering the powerful, healing potential that lies within every meal.